Today is Wednesday, October 26th, 2022. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 43, Week 6.
This episode was titled Murgatory, and that was spoken by Cassidy. And I even guessed it before the episode. I said, that seems like something she would say.
Good on you.
Mm-hmm. Extra points for me.
I didn't hear you, but...
Oh, okay. Then it doesn't count. It's day 12. It's going to be another 2-day cycle. We're all about the two days.
Yep.
With the 26-day season. So we kick it off at the Coco camp, and they've got tree mail. Drop your buffs and get to packing because it's time to go. And they're all excited except Karla. She said, there are no easy merges in this new game. Be careful. Ryan.
Yeah, she's withholding judgment,
cautious.
Which is smart.
Yes. Ryan, he's not about that. He's like, I want to bring fruit. Let's go get some papaya.
They'll like us if we bring fruit. But he's also feeling let down after the last tribal council, and he considers himself a free agent now.
Yes.
So, okay.
I'm not sure he wasn't a free agent before. It's not like he was really voting with them or part of the bigger alliance there.
Well, I think he thought he was leading the vote, but...
Over at Jessi, they get their tree mail, and Jessi tells us that he's graduating from gladiator school. He's on his way to the Coliseum, I guess, is what he meant with that. This
is the part of the game that really gets going. And Jessi and Coco arrive at the Baca Beach.
Coco's got that cassava and the papaya, and they're ready to make friends.
Yep. Noelle's feeling nervous. She's just not quite sure what's happening, so she feels a little unnerved without her buff.
Yeah, there's reason. No buff, no feast.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't quite the real
deal. No Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. Cody's not buying any of it. He's like, all this niceness, they're all a bunch of liars. I guess I'll play along, though.
Well, and Owen wants to know who has what.
He had a pretty good assessment, didn't he?
He did. Idols and advantages. And I was like, wow, okay.
Tallied them up pretty well.
All right, everybody's sitting around chatting with each other. And then you see Cody off by himself. I don't know if he was collecting wood or what he was doing.
Got to make a bigger shelter. There's twice as many people here than it was built for.
I think he had some bamboo.
Yep.
And but the point being, he's isolating himself away from the group that's bonding and getting to know each other and making decisions maybe. I don't think that's going to be a good move.
Would have been fun to see him reacting to what Noelle was doing, huh? She was spilling the tea there, sharing about his getting all the beads for his hat, and that tipped Ellie off.
Yep. Ellie, I thought she saw the bracelet too and knew that that's what happened. And I thought that was pretty good pickup anyway, that she's like, oh, I know what that means. He's got an idol.
Ellie scrambled off to have a quick conversation with Jeanine. And then she tells us, I was made for Survivor. Look how much I know. Look at me. Look how well I'm doing.
We should have known then. Overconfidence. Bye-bye. Okay, day 13.
Time for a challenge.
2 teams of 6. They got to drag the sled, collecting crates.
First, I got to uncover it. That ended up being more work than I'd anticipated. Yeah. So I got to move 20 big sandbags off the sled, and then they got to drag the sled around and pick up these 2 groups of wooden blocks that they use to build stairs, and the stairs will get them up to where they can untie some keys, and then they've somehow got to get up what Jeff said was the biggest wall they've ever had in a challenge.
It reminded me of the Ninja Warrior challenges where they have to run.
Yeah, except I bet you they figured this out with the Dream Team in testing because it had a little cheater net up top. It had some training wheels on it, so there was some net hanging down from the top to grab on. They didn't like that on American Ninja Warriors.
I know. But, this is not that. These people have not trained for that.
Going to require some teamwork to get up that big wall. And then up top, they take the keys and they unlock puzzle pieces and solve another puzzle that has a phrase on it.
Well, and the shorter people are just automatically at a disadvantage.
That part of that depends on teamwork. You got to figure out the teamwork in the moment.
But they're still at a disadvantage. It's not like they're Ryan and Sami who can just run up there and jump up and grab it.
No, someone may pick them up and offer them up, and then they get pulled up.
Or
so they
like Ryan, allow them to crawl up his body.
Have an even easier time. So.
Which seems upside down was kind of an odd way to do that, I think. But
Jeff tells us that the winners will get a buff, and they will have made the merge. They will have earned it, and they get the merge meal. Not everybody gets the merge meal in the new Survivor game.
That is just, I hate that.
So we figured this part out to a degree before the episode and talked about it on the listener feedback show, but then it took a turn that I didn't anticipate. So I thought somebody was going to still go off to the island, but that didn't end up being the case.
And I'm glad that it didn't. I like it this way.
Yeah.
Much better.
The person that draws the gray rock sits out, and they have to pick a team that they're going to cheer for. And if that team wins, well, they'll be immune and they get to go to the merge feast. But if not, they'll go to tribal council and be eligible to be voted out.
The other thing I didn't, I'm not sure I was cognitive of. I think when I made my choice, I was thinking about the whole, everybody that's in the game voting for who's going home. But somehow when they said that, I was thinking, oh, well, those 6 will just vote for each other. But I was wrong. They all voted. So it was a little bit.
Yeah, Probst tells us that everybody's going to go to tribal and everyone who has a vote will vote.
Yeah, so they get to be privy to
So it wasn't just
everything.
The losing 6 choosing who gets voted out.
That's right. And I think that made it even harder.
So we get our teams. On the blue team, we got Gabler, Jessi, Ryan, Jeanine, Karla, and Dwight.
For the red tribe, we got Owen, Sami, James, Ellie, Cassidy, and Cody.
And Noelle ends up picking the gray rock, and then she sides with the blue team. She thinks they're going to win. I really thought the red team was going to win. I didn't think it was as even.
Yeah, when they got there, I thought they were almost done with the puzzle, and then they took it all apart again. I was like, oh, okay, well, we're back neck and neck again. And Karla gets injured. Her hand gets smashed. And so she's got blood, which Jeff seemed to be really excited to see that
Survivor,
she had a battle injury.
When somebody's cut and
True
bleeding.
Survivor,
Of course, we've seen them beat up and bandaged after pretty much every challenge this season.
Lots of
scrapes.
Nasty scrapes, too. I mean, some of those look pretty bad. Well, even Jeanine's chin still hasn't, the skin hasn't grown back.
No.
Okay, so for the puzzle, on blue, Dwight and Jeanine did the puzzle. And on red, it was Owen and Ellie. So I really did think red had it. And
they had such a lead because blue struggled. They fell behind on the sled getting their keys, and then they had a lot of trouble getting up the wall until Ryan flipped upside down, like you said, and helped Karla get up.
Well, and I had already said to Noelle, oh, you backed the wrong team, girl. And she seemed to think so, too. And I didn't think she was holding out much hope for blue either. But then, wow, they came back with a vengeance, and bam, got it done.
Yeah, each team was helping the puzzle solvers, and that was making a difference. But we did have a come-from-behind win by blue.
Which is always fun.
So the blue team is safe. They get their merge buffs, and they're going to be off to their merge meal after this.
And the losing 6 get nothing. I just still think that's cruel. If they're eating somewhere back at camp, you would think they could smell the food. That would make it so much harder.
Definitely. Okay, back at merge camp on day 13. That's when we get our title. Cassidy tells us that we're in Murgatory. Ellie's struggling a little bit. She gets together with Owen and decides that they should split the votes between James and Cody.
But they know Cody has the idol.
Oh, I meant Cassidy. Sorry, I said Cody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Between James and Cassidy, which I was pretty happy about.
And they tell Cassidy and James it's Cody, which they didn't seem to know anything about the beads. They're not clued in yet that Karla has one too.
Yes. And
hopefully nobody's saying anything about it, and Karla's not wearing it, so hopefully they won't find out right away.
So I was all on board with Ellie's plan. I had Cassidy to go. So
yeah. Though
I had envisioned.
I thought they were more after James than.
Oh, they were. But I'm happy that there's a split between James and Cassidy. That means I had a shot at that point, so I was pretty.
Yeah, we both.
Pretty
I
happy.
had Sami going because I thought for sure they were going to go after either Ryan or Sami. And I logicked out that they would probably, because now Baca had the most tribe members left, and that they would want to equalize them by sending someone from their tribe home, which they ultimately did do.
Yeah, there was something.
Because now it'll be 4, 4, and 4
something to that
on the tribes. And I figured, well, Sami being the biggest threat on that tribe, they're going to start going after the strong ones. And so I thought it would be Ryan or Sami. So I was feeling pretty good that Sami was at least available.
Okay.
But oh well.
I think that cleared up pretty quick for you.
Yeah, it sure did.
He really wasn't on the menu this week. So.
No.
So Ellie,
so much for my logic.
Ellie has a quick conversation with Cassidy and tells her that they have settled on taking Cody out.
Yeah, and James makes Ellie feel like, yeah, he's with her, sure. Let's vote him, but he tells us he is not.
She lost him right there. He said, tell me a name, and she wanted to tell him a story. Mm-hmm. And that just didn't sit right with James.
Yeah, and he should not believe her because she was lying. But he picked up on that. He's got pretty good spidey sense, too.
Yep, he said he is not with her, and he does not trust her.
Okay, next they show us the merge feast, and Ryan puts his foot right in it by saying, hey, this could be the final 7. Do you think Ryan had a clue that some of the people weren't very receptive to what he was saying?
No, I don't think he thinks that way. He's all about, hey, let's do the final 7. I've got it right here. I've got an idea.
Well, and then everybody starts saying, oh, I want so-and-so to stay, and I want so-and-so to stay. And yeah. And then Gabler, of course, spills the beans on Ellie, and he didn't want her to stay.
Except he has that wrong. Did they tell him it was Ellie? I don't remember. Because it was actually Jeanine that did it. She's the one who physically went through his bag.
True,
while
but
Owen was supposed to be on watch.
I think Sami did say Sami wasn't there. He wasn't watching. So I do think that he felt like Ellie was the ringleader, maybe. But so I think he did tell him.
Yeah.
Or he assumed it was Ellie.
So he just rolled that one out there in front of everyone at the feast. Ellie went through my bag. I got a score to settle with her. I'm fine with voting her out.
Well, and I was thinking, gosh, Jeanine's sitting right there. You know she's going to tell her.
That was her reaction. I'm right here. Knucklehead. Karla loved it. She immediately went, ding, ding, ding. Baca is fractured. Baca is fractured.
Yes. And nobody said they wanted Gabler to stay.
Gabler says, I'm going to target my enemies. I'm going to show them that I'm decisive and trustworthy.
Okay. Well, then it really starts with this one tells that one. And Ellie goes and tells Dwight and Jeanine and Cody that Cassidy threw Cody's name out. And then Gabler tells that...
well, Ellie confronted Gabler at that point, too. She went to him and said, what are you doing? Why are you saying this? And I didn't go through your bag.
On day 3.
So they basically just talked circles around each other and didn't get anywhere. They ended up telling us.
Yeah, you turned on me. No, you did this to me. So it was just, they couldn't work. They weren't going to put that together.
Mm-mm. Well, they had long lost respect for each other in the game. So these targets were already there. Gabler just took advantage of the opportunity to drop the hammer on her.
Yeah, I got lost in my notes there. So I was like, what does that mean? D3. Oh, day 3. Okay.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Ellie asked Sami and Owen to help get her name back, to pull it back so that she wasn't on the chopping block. Sami told her, you bet, absolutely. And make sure to come to us if anything else comes up.
Yeah, and you let us know. We'll vote James, sure.
Yeah, and then he tells us, Ellie's got to go.
Yeah, can't keep
This is
her
a problem.
around. We can't trust her. So that might have been his plan all along. He wanted Ellie gone, and that's why he sicked Gabler on her.
Might as well be now. Yeah. Gabler and Jeanine end up talking. They beg off to not discuss it in front of James. And then they end up pulling in Sami and Owen. And Janine's plan is, look, let's just stick together as Baka through this. Sami really wanted Gabler to calm down. And Sami and Owen's pitch was, come on, let us get our buffs before you blow up the tribe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he even told that Jeanine had an idol, right? So it's like, goodness gracious. Why would anyone trust him?
Well, he was in a good position. His team won, so he had nothing to worry about. And then on top of that, he had his now expiring...
Yes, but that's just one
immunity.
Vote.
Yeah.
One tribal council.
Live for today.
And then Cody says, James says Ellie put his name on the block, which she did. So, but that was just to throw them off that she was after them.
Yep.
I don't think James had put that part
it's
together.
It's all in the process of backfiring on her. I like the sequence. There's a lot of jumping around, lots of discussions.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt like I do have just the tiniest bit of a sense of how confusing this must be when you have to sort all this out. Even though we knew certain things, just watching that all go down and, I liked the different groups that are having the conversations and how they're looking at things. And, yeah, you could see how people could easily get all turned around and why it's a struggle to make these decisions before tribal.
Then Jessi tells Ryan and Dwight to vote Ellie, and Ryan tells all of Coco that Ellie's the target because she's targeting James.
Mm-hmm. That was news to them, so they were a little bit out of the loop.
And Gabler told them that, okay, sure, he'll work with them, blah, blah, blah. And then he tells us, I'm absolutely writing Ellie's name down.
Yeah, he just wasn't having any of it, was he? He had a score to settle.
And Ellie's like, well, I think I'm going home, Jeanine. Oh, no. Gabler's with us, blah, blah. And she said that Jeanine might play her idol for her.
Jeanine did, yeah.
Well, yeah, but also Ellie said, well, she may play her idol for me. And so I wonder what she's thinking now.
Same thing she was thinking in the moment. That was not the alliance I thought it was.
Nope.
I guess she found a better path.
But as we know, Jessi and Jeanine had no vote, so they didn't get to vote at all.
Yeah, tribal council here on night 13. That was confusing in that sequence coming in when they showed a vote going into the vote box.
Yeah.
It's like, that's unnecessary. Why are you doing...
What? What's happening?
Yeah.
I thought Jeff was going to pull something out of there when he read the votes.
It was
different. There's some kind of twist or... That was really strange.
Yeah, that didn't belong there.
No, it didn't.
I can understand getting to see the snuffer up close, But having a vote go in the voting urn like that just seemed off.
It was confusing.
Yeah.
Like,
It definitely left us with questions.
You've never done that before. Why are you doing that?
Or
what's happening?
Or we haven't noticed if that was the case.
What else is happening?
Yeah. Probst kicks it off with Gabler. There's 13 of you now. What was it like when you got back? And Gabler says, boom, it just kicked off when we got back from the merge meal.
Oh, the merge meal the meal itself, though, was they just talked a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cody agrees. He said it went into full chaos mode when they got back.
And I can believe Gabler never stopped talking once he got back.
Yeah, he's going to make sure everybody understands how significant a move this is that he's making, and how significant a move this is that he's making and taking Ellie out, I'm sure.
Then Jeanine talks about, you really do have to look at everything from everybody's point of view. Which, oh, Lordy.
It's a much bigger game.
You don't even have that much time, really, to really sit and contemplate, well, if I were this person, what would I want to do? And if I were this person, because you don't really know how they feel and who they're aligned with. So,
yeah, there's no way that you can go around and have 12 substantial conversations before tribal council. And we know there's always some people who do all their communication through someone else. So I guess that's one way you make yourself valuable, if you're the information conduit to another group.
Well, and Owen was talking about, trust is all we have, but there's no trust in Survivor.
He added that part too, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that, therefore, it was all very exhilarating to him. He just missed out on saying it was exciting to be here, and therefore getting voted out.
Karla says it's a combo of alliances. There's 9 people on journeys that went out on journeys, and we don't know what idols and advantages are out there. Mm-hmm. Which is a good point. They don't, though some of them do. Owen seemed to know quite a bit and had been paying attention to that.
Yeah, it is a much bigger game at the merge when they start off in these small groups of 6.
So
that's a big difference between the 2 tribes of 9 versus 3 of 6, where you having to deal with that bigger group like that. You're just not used to it, I guess, because it's twice as big as you've experienced up to that point.
So do you think Sami was trying to send a message when he was talking about with idols and advantages? It's kind of like when and how you play them, and that they can signal other people that you didn't trust them. So you think he was trying to tell Jeanine, don't you play an idol for her?
Yeah, possibly.
You don't have to vote for her, but don't play the idol for her.
Hindsight, that could be possible.
So I was curious.
It's also a very generic Survivor statement, for sure.
Yeah, but Probst summed it up by saying sometimes the big move is not making a big move. Mm-hmm. And were you surprised? No idols were played? Nobody. I thought, well, they could all end up playing. And so somebody must have been pretty confident in the vote, because nobody actually played the idol.
Yeah, I actually did believe for a minute that there was a possibility Jeanine could step in and do that. And it looks like they...
You mean play it for
Ellie?
Ellie,
yeah, like she had told her she would, if she got the sense that was, what the problem was.
Well, and Gabler...
She changed, and they had to hide that from us at some point, I guess, that Jeanine had pivoted.
Yeah. Gabler was already safe, so he didn't need to play his, even though it expired at this tribal council. He didn't need to play it, so I'm assuming it expired anyway.
Okay, so Jeanine holds. Ellie is not protected, so we get a vote for Ellie, and then a vote for James, and then a vote for Owen, and a vote for Cassidy. Yes, I'm still in this with my Cassidy.
I'm assuming some of those were just a little bit of insurance, though Owen and Cassidy aren't happy to see their name at all. She seemed very relieved when Ellie kept getting more and more, and she didn't get any more. But
Yeah, it goes out to 2-2 with Ellie and James, and then they just all come in. It's an avalanche. Ellie is being voted out. She will not make the merge. Right there, just 10 feet away from the bag that had the merge buff in it.
Yep.
And it will not be hers.
Okay. Do you think that Owen voted with Ellie and he was not told that Ellie was going home, or that Gabler and Sami were voting for her? Because he voted James.
Yeah, that seems like something Sami would do. He would withhold that because he'd be a little sus of Owen and it getting back to Ellie and Jeanine, because he really didn't want Jeanine to play that.
Because Noelle did the vote for Cassidy, and Karla did the vote for Owen. So I'm assuming they were like, well, just in case something goes wrong, let's throw some other names out there. And Owen and Ellie voted for James, and then everybody else that had a vote
How do you think it would have
Ellie.
went down if Jeanine had played it for Ellie? Who do you think would have ended
James
up
would have
going?
gone home.
Oh, yeah, he had the most votes. There's no question.
Yeah.
So if I were James, that would make me a little uneasy.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the way it had to be.
But now you know Ryan, Sami, Dwight, Gabler, James, Cody, and Cassidy all voted together. All 7 of them voted for Ellie.
And how did Jeanine vote?
Jeanine didn't have a vote.
Oh, yeah, she didn't have a vote.
Neither did Cody. So
Right,
there
right,
were
right.
only 11 votes out of the 13
That's
people.
right. Yep.
We always
Easy to forget.
that.
Yep. I even made a note right before the voting started. Jessi and Jeanine do not have votes.
Yep, I wrote a note too so I'd remember, and I remember.
See how well that went? Yeah. For me.
Were you surprised when Ellie turned around to the group
No.
and said, well, y'all see what Trust in Gabler will get you? But he came right back.
I would have said the
right
same
back
thing.
At you.
I would have said exactly the same thing. Yeah.
And that's the first thing I thought he actually handled well.
Yeah. So Gabler wins that face-off.
Yes, he did.
He was the shot caller. He orchestrated it from the merge feast.
Well, maybe. Certainly.
He called the shot. Other people really made it happen. And that was really because Ellie came across as a threat and that James was on to her. I don't think Cassidy ever was until Ryan came up and told him. But as soon as that came out, that Ellie was gunning for saying to split the votes between James and Cassidy, I think it was pretty easy for the numbers to stack up from there.
And now the remaining 12 people in the game are merged.
Yeah, merged at the very end of the episode there. What'd you think of that one?
That's
Okay.
how I felt.
That's the start?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it seems so fast and so much, and like when it was over, I thought, man, it may take me to the listener feedback show to sort through all this.
Yeah.
You know, and
The
think,
twists and the turns
and what was that one?
How the power shifted.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And all the different alliances, because we really don't know who have alliances for sure.
No,
'Cause
but you do have
people were
you do
kinda
have
all over.
a majority that just made that vote decision. So
Well, you know, it's like if somebody's down, that's easy prey.
yeah,
And
that's how it works in the jungle.
And Ellie didn't make it any easier on herself.
No,
So,
she didn't make the friends that she thought she did.
but how devastating. You get right there
Could almost touch it.
in the merge episode and miss the merge.
Bag's right there. He's got it. The buff's in there. I
Like,
just
give me a
gotta make
buff
it through.
anyway.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a buff.
Yoinks, not for you. So, what did you think about the change? They made a huge change with this episode.
With, I think I'd already said, I really liked it that they had Knuckle choose and not send her off.
Noelle,
Oh, yeah, I said Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Noelle, you're right.
So there was no hourglass, no turning back time.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love that none of that happened.
Significant improvement. And it was
Yes.
just simple. It was easy to do. and then it flowed right in, and then we got some really good examples of how dizzying it can be to have the conversations and to sort out after that challenge in such a short amount of time with that many people. How are you going to vote? How's it going to play out?
Well, that was quite interesting to watch it play out, but it was just like, whoa, who all was standing there? Who's talking to who? And who's running to this one and that one? And
How are they making
they were
this
just all
decision?
over the place.
Yeah, it was good.
But I kind of thought it was going to be Ellie.
It was an improvement. And you had picked who to go?
No, I picked Sami.
Sami, okay.
And you picked Cassidy.
I had Cassidy, yeah. I thought that was going to be about Ryan's revenge somehow. But
well, at least I was on the right tribe.
Me too. Cassidy was vulnerable. She was a possible choice.
I know, but she wasn't on their tribe.
Oh, I see.
Their previous tribe.
Yes. So that matters a lot after the merge.
Yeah, exactly.
How about next time on Survivor? We got Karla talking to Jessi, and basically she's saying that, or Jessi's saying it looks like Noelle's calling the shots.
Oh, I thought Karla was saying that.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it was Karla then. Yeah, Noelle's calling the shots, and then Jessi says, well, you can watch Noelle accumulate power, or you can make a move now.
Yeah,
okay?
And he did that in a confessional. So I don't know what he said to Karla, but we'll find out next week.
The next part was the most interesting, I guess, with Dwight. What did he say?
Yeah, there's a power hidden under the shelter.
He didn't just say a power. He said a major power.
Major power. Well, we were thinking maybe the knowledge of power.
If they're desperate to have someone play that correctly.
Because
it is a major power.
Well, Gio said that they wouldn't let him keep it as a souvenir.
That's right.
So
they took it back.
We thought, oh, they put it back in action.
Yeah.
So that may be it. But then he's telling other people, too, out in the water. It looked like he was telling...
Well, when he said that, he was out in the water talking to Jeanine and...
Yeah.
Who else? Owen?
Jeanine, Owen, and we think Karla, maybe.
Yeah, possibly Karla, that they're out washing off in the water after the challenge.
And
then they cut to Sami saying, none of us know what to do. And he's got...
What's happening?
He's got schmutz all over his face. I don't know. It was like he was rolling around in the ashes in the fire or something.
And Noelle was talking to Jessi and Ryan and said, he found something. And Ryan's like, what do you mean?
Found something. He just repeated.
What do you mean found something?
He's found something.
Ryan hasn't found anything.
Yeah. Oh, and then just the perfect ending. Gabler's got a name for himself. He's probably been waiting this whole time. I waited all the way to day 14 to pop out with the alligabler. He said the alligabler has come up to the surface and he's ready to strike.
Oy.
Oh, way to go, Gabler.
Now you have no idol.
Funny.
And Jeanine and Cody get their votes back.
Yes, they have agency in the game again.
So right now we have nobody with no votes. And Cody, Karla, and Jeanine still have idols.
Yep. So. And Noelle's got to steal a vote.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Handy to have Paul's visual roster where you can see that.
Yes, it is.
Written right on each of the castaways' photos
I can actually even read it from here, too.
Yeah.
With my glasses off.
Well, yeah. The big screen helps a little bit with that.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that was. I thought it was an action-packed
merge.
Yes. I thought I have to watch this again. I almost want to do it before we record.
We were tempted to do it right away, weren't we?
Yeah, and it's like no, we don't.
Let's not sit here for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get the recap done so that we can also do a JSFL update.
Yeah. What did you think?
Oh, I liked it. Yeah, it's a major improvement. The whole hourglass, turn back time, all that was just such a horrific idea. It was counter to the way Survivor should work. I'm thrilled that it's gone. I like the flow of this. It's smooth and simple, but it gave us all that extra time, gave us that insight into what's it like to try to make a decision, to sort out who's going and how are you going to build your alliances. I mean, we obviously didn't get to see it all because...
Oh, no. I'm sure.
They wanted some surprise for Tribal Council. We get that.
The only thing I really didn't enjoy was that 6 of the 13 people did not get to eat.
Gotta earn it. I'm okay with that.
No, they should get that. If they make it to the merge, they should get
That's
that.
the old soft survivor. This one's hard.
Oh, shut up.
Okay. How about a JSFL update
That's
now?
my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rajmi is still in first with 28 points.
All
Congratulations. 24 people lost their USB this week. 57 people lost a safe point. 32 people earned a vote-off point.
Good job.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That was a...
Yeah,
it was tough to pick somebody.
It was. There were no extra clues, no additional insights offered.
No, nada.
So, but in the next time on Survivor, they had shown Ellie panicked and worrying that her name had come up.
I didn't remember that at all.
Mm-hmm. But I usually ignore those.
Okay, and in the side challenge, with 27 points, Jeremiah's in first. With 25 points, Justin and Parker. 24 points, Rebecca and Robert. 23 points, Chris and Stacy. And with 21, Cold Mike.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are at a pivot point in the game, right? Because we've made the merge. There's now an opportunity to update your USB choice in JSFL.
Well, easy for you. You don't have one.
Yes. So I can get back into the game a little bit, and I can choose a new USB. Now, it won't be worth the 24 points of the original. It'll only be worth
5.
Only be worth 5, but at least I get to pick a new one. And Karla's looking awfully good right now.
Isn't she, though?
Yeah. Karla definitely is. Everybody on Baka is a bit of a mess, so...
I am not certain. I have a lot of thinking to do about whether to keep Owen or not. Usually I do just in case, but I'm not necessarily feeling it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd have to think about who I would go with.
James is also playing a good game, and we keep getting to see him making great insights. Cassidy kind of flew out to the edges.
Yeah, no.
Ryan was shown as not being very... They didn't value his pitch for Final 7. Let's say it that way. He wasn't much of an influencer. And then I guess Noelle's in play. Jessi and Cody still are. Dwight continues to be somewhat of a minor player. Maybe that flips. Maybe he ends up with that major advantage this week. But
seemed to be playing harder this week. But, I had discounted Cody, but I really like him more and more.
Sure.
That
you can see why folks are having fun cheering for him when that Sandy picked him as her USB.
I didn't like seeing him isolate, but he seemed to be making friends with a lot of people, so...
Well, he is a salesman.
Elevator think
salesman.
Gabler will start rubbing people.
He's going to fizzle out.
Yeah. But I'm not sure that Owen's social skills are as good as I thought they would be either. So, and...
Jeanine's going to get some fallout from that association with Ellie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she'll recover or not, but Sami will kick his game into high gear now.
Yeah.
He's got to find a working majority alliance that he can stick with.
Okay. Well, we kind of got off it's time to choose a new USB.
Yeah.
So if you're like Stacy and you don't have one, you can choose a new one starting this week. You only have until the deadline for the next episode, which is 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific Time on Wednesday, November the 2nd. You have to have chosen it before then in order to have a new USB. Now, if you
got one that's still in the game, let's say you picked like Gabler as your USB, and you're thinking, he's just not going to have a chance. He's going to shoot himself in the foot. I need to get with somebody else here.
Yep.
You too can make that choice, and you'll lose. You won't have an opportunity to score
24 points.
Right. But you will still have an opportunity for 10. So since your choice is still in the game and you're shifting to someone else, there's still a possible 10 points that you can score. So if you make that choice to shift
But be
away.
very, very certain before you do that, because if you decide you didn't want your USB that's still in the game and you switch away and choose somebody else and you think, no, I'm going to stick with them, you cannot go back to 24 points.
Yeah.
You could still choose that person, but it would then only be for 10 points once you switch away from them.
Hopefully that's clear. Once you click submit, you have walked away from a possible 24 points. It's been reduced. Okay. Anything else we need to say about that?
If there is, I can't think about it, and we'll do it on Saturday.
Yes, which is when we have the listener feedback show. Love to hear your thoughts on the changes that they made. Are you missing that hourglass and turning back time and singing the Cher song during the commercials? Are you missing all those moments? So I'm getting weird looks.
Yeah.
Or did you like how this played out? What did you think about the sequence and the difficulties? Were they able to convey that clearly? Who's your front runners now? Who's most in jeopardy? We're looking forward to hearing all those kinds of thoughts and predictions for how the end game is going to play out from here as Survivor shifts into high gear post-merge.
Help us out. We got to pick some new USBs. Give us your opinions on all of them.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing what you thought about this episode. The voicemail line's 206-350-1547, toll-free 844-643-8737. You can write up an email and send it to us, and we'll read it into the show on your behalf, or you can record your own audio. That is indeed how you can get the best quality, and attach that to an email to send to joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. It's due noon Pacific time on Saturday, and we ask you, whether you're writing it up or recording it, however you're getting it to us, try to keep it in that 3-minute range so we can get everybody in the show. Looking forward to hearing from you. Anything else?
Nope. I think that's enough talking for one night.
All right. Have a good one.